Monica.
Thank you. Right, so I'm going to be talking about Microsoft Teams. How many of you are using it or has been rolled out recently and you kind of lost a little bit? Some of us, maybe, or you, not us, are way ahead in the journey, maybe a couple of years using it, and there has been some kind of success in the adoption of these tools. So I was given this task of creating a champions program because the University of Liverpool is a big university with a lot of academic staff. So it is difficult to have some kind of presence. And not only that, we have a new VLE as well this year. So Office 365 was rolled out in September. So I created a champions program and I recruited 8 wonderful academics from across faculties. So we got 3 champions from health and life sciences, 2 champions from HSS, which is social science, humanities and social science, and science and engineering. We got 1, and 2 more for the rest of the university. So why am I doing this? What do you do when you have to engage people with a new tool? How do you persuade them? How do you lead them to a positive outcome? It is really hard because next month is the new flavor. So leading people to a positive and just adopting a new technology I find it really difficult. So I think the secret is to create a positive environment. You engage people with positive emotion and you keep them committed. So I don't know how successful this champions program is going to be, but I'm going to show you what I've done so far. So I got my 8 champions and it was so hard to find them and find the time for them to be in one room, but I kind of managed. We have had 1 meeting. It didn't go well because everyone has a very strong opinion of how things should be done. And to be honest, academics love ranting and moaning a little bit about how things can go wrong, not right.
I just say for the record that I was in that.
Rob was the moaner, yes. Right, so I believe in empowering people, in acknowledging their efforts and showing them how the institution values whatever work they're doing. So I put a lot of my passion and a lot of my commitment into this champions program because whatever happens, I believe it is the academic staff, the ones who are going to lead the change. It's not the learning technologies, it's the academics who have to embrace this. So one of the ways I thought, so they're very new with Microsoft Teams. There was one person who was using Slack, which is Rob. So he kind of knew more or less what it was all about. Does anyone know Slack or has been using Slack before? Okay. So I find Microsoft Teams much better, but you may have a different opinion. So we had our first meeting. Things didn't go so well. It was a failure. I felt like it was not going to work out. So I think a key element for me was that Dominic Williamson from Microsoft became really interested in the project and what we were doing at the University of Liverpool. And he delivered tailored training for this exclusive group of academics. I think that went really well. So from then on, we had 2 more webinars. It was a webinar because this guy is in the US. So that's another way I found to empower these academics. Like there's 1, 2, 3. John, Tunde, raise your hand so people know. And Rob. So that was a success. So this started in October. And 3 of them, you saw Rob's presentation. He tried to enroll 400 students. Success or not success, Rob?
It was, 50% success.
Right. John, success or not success in your...
Success, but people starting to use it now, so...
Okay, so quite positive. And we got 1 more for a master's in applied linguistics. He's using private channels in Teams for group work. So it's assessment. An assessment is going to be done on Teams. And he was aware that students don't like to share what they're doing with other team members, with their classmates. So he created private channels and he added the students. So, little by little, I think the staff are kind of engaging and adopting it. And the champion's job is to pass on this knowledge to the people in their faculties. and to be an example of best practice. So the first term, which has ended in December, I think it went okay. We had some failures, some success, and the second term will begin in January, of the Champions program. So I'm the teacher basically, because I wanted them to experience this as a student so they knew, because I don't think you guys remember what it was like to be a student. So I created a team. If I have time, do I have
20 seconds.
Oh gosh. Okay. So this is the Champions team that I've created, and you can see it is like if they were the students and I'm the teacher. So I've organized by weeks, and I encourage them to follow this example and just adapt it as they want. And they act like students because there are one or two who are super engaged, and there are 2 or 3 that I never hear from, and they're probably not going to pass. We'll see.
Monica, sorry, I'm going to have to stop you. Do you want to summarize?
Yes, and just
One sentence.
right. And I just want to say that it's not about me. It's not about Microsoft Teams. It's about the champions. So I really try to disseminate what they're doing, empower them, and just show in the institution. And if I can, I go even to other places to show the wonderful work that they're doing. Thank you.
Thank you.